In 1944, a 14-year-old boy was sent to the electric chair. Decades later, the court admitted something horrifying. He may have been innocent all along. His name was George Stinney Jr. And the most terrifying part of this story is how quickly the world decided he was guilty. It began in the small town of Alcolu, a quiet, segregated town where black families and white families lived separated by railroad tracks, separated by fear, and separated by power. George was only 14. Thin, quiet, small for his age. He spent his days helping his family and wandering the neighborhood like any ordinary child. But on March 23, 1944, two young white girls disappeared. Betty June Binnicker and Mary Emma Thames had been riding their bicycles through town when they suddenly vanished. As the sun began to set, panic spread across Alcolu. Search parties formed. People flooded the roads carrying lanterns and flashlights. Parents locked their doors. Rumors spread through the streets like wildfire. Then the next morning, the bodies of the two girls were discovered in a muddy ditch. Both had suffered horrific head injuries. The town exploded with fear and rage. And almost immediately, police focused on one person. George Stinney Jr. Witnesses claimed the girls had spoken to George earlier that day. They had reportedly asked him where they could find flowers. That was enough. Within hours, the 14-year-old boy was arrested. And from that moment on, his fate may already have been sealed. Police interrogated George alone. No parents, no lawyer, no protection. Just a frightened child sitting in a room filled with adults accusing him of murder. Authorities later claimed George confessed. But there was a problem. No written confession exists. No recording exists. No signed statement exists. Only the word of the officers who questioned him. As news spread across town, fear turned into something darker. Hatred. George's family reportedly fled Alcolu in the middle of the night after rumors of lynching began to spread. Imagine that. A 14-year-old boy sitting alone in a jail cell while his terrified family disappeared into hiding. Then came the trial. If it could even be called a trial. The courtroom was packed with white spectators staring at the child accused of murdering two white girls in the segregated South. George sat alone. Small, silent, terrified. His defense attorney barely challenged the prosecution. No serious defense was presented. No strong investigation was conducted. The trial lasted only a few hours. Then the jury left the room. 10 minutes later, they returned. Guilty. Death by electric chair. For a 14-year-old child. 83 days. That was all it took. 83 days to arrest him, convict him, and prepare him for execution. On June 16, 1944, George Stinney Jr. was led into the execution chamber. And what happened next became one of the most haunting moments in American legal history. George was so small, the electric chair could barely hold him. Reports claim the straps did not fit properly around his body. Some say officers had to place books beneath him so the mask could reach his face. Then, the switch was pulled. A child was executed by the state. And just like that, George Stinney Jr. was gone. For decades, the case disappeared into history. But the questions never disappeared. Years later, lawyers and historians reopened the investigation. And what they discovered shocked the world. No physical evidence linked George to the murders. No documented confession existed. Key witnesses had never testified. And many believed the investigation had been poisoned by racism, fear, and public pressure from the very beginning. The deeper people looked into the case, the more terrifying the truth became. What if the state had executed an innocent child? Finally, in 2014, 70 years after George's death, a judge reviewed the case. The ruling was devastating. The court concluded that George Stinney Jr. had never received a fair trial. His conviction was officially vacated. But by then, it was far too late. Because the boy they called a murderer had already spent 70 years in the grave. And the electric chair had already done its job.